and Survival series. I wanted to bring you another quick one here. Talk about my personal everyday EDC. Now the first, and now by EDC I mean this is what I carry every single day, no matter what. No matter where I'm going, no matter for how long, this is what I have on me. First, maybe surprising, but not so much surprising, it's Chapstick. I carry this all day, every day, no matter what time of the year, especially in the fall and the winter. But every once in a while, you get those chapped lips, and you're talking, and you're doing things, and you're eating, and drinking, whatever. It's so important for me to keep them moist, you know, because it drives me nuts, and my lips crack pretty easily. So I've considered this an EDC item for myself personally. The next is one of these little jobbers, and this is a Swiss Army knife with fingernail clippers, and this comes in handy for so many things. I tend to get hangnails quite often, and that was kind of the idea of buying it. And I personally think these are a little bit on the expensive side, but for what I need it for and what I use it for, it is worth every penny to get those little things off of there, to cut something small. Along with that, of course, comes with the little scissors that are self-sharpening, or supposedly self-sharpening. Then of course your little typical little blade for opening letters, I guess, or anything small like that. Then of course your little pick with the wait a minute, this is the blade, sorry. And then this is the little pick that you can get under your fingernails or any small little place that you need to poke, get something, pry something out. Then of course the little nail file on it, and then the toothpick comes in handy more than I would ever have thought, and little tweezers, little bitty tweezers, also come in handy very often. And a lot of times I think when people buy small multi-tools or knives or things like that, they only use like one or a couple of the items in that are actually in that knife. I have to say I use every single piece of this thing usually at least once a day. So this is an absolute vital piece of gear for me, and that's why it made it into my personal EDC lineup. The next, of course, I would be remiss if I wasn't carrying some sort of pocket knife. I tend to rotate these in and out kind of a lot, and this is the latest one. Just a fairly inexpensive $30 knife made by Kershaw. It's got the thumb opening there, or finger opening, assisted opening, that I very much like in a knife. That was one of the selling points for me. Also that it's plastic, lightweight. It's got the belt clip, which is a necessity for me. And it's got a spring assist opening. It has no serrations, which I am one of those that fall in the camp that I really do not like serrations on knives. I think they're usually back here on the back, and they just take up some of the most vital parts of the blade, and I think I can count on one hand the amount of times that I've truly needed or wanted serrations on a knife. So to me it is not worth it, but that's just me. These knives in particular come with the serration option if you want it. I didn't. So, you know, and it's not the most you know, best knife out there. You know, I don't know if there is such a thing, but you know, it's got a nice locking edge, or a nice lock for the edge for the blade. Made in China. Can't get around that sometimes. Not to say there's not things that are good that come out of China, but there are. And I think this is one of them. The edge, if you notice, has a slight bevel curve, not bevel, but a curve to it, which kind of makes it nice for different tasks, sort of taking off that I guess sort of Bowie knife idea, I guess. Otherwise it's just a simple blade, nice and basic, and gets the job done. So I like this knife a lot, and didn't put a whole lot of thought into it, except for the obvious features that I was looking for, which I do have a bad habit of overthinking gear and things that I'm considering buying, and I'm sure we all do, and I'm no exception. So this was a nice middle of the road, decently priced option that I decided to go with. So great little knife, and this made it into my top EDC category. The last and most recent tool that I've added was MultiTool, and this is as of when this video is made, a fairly new version of the Leatherman multi-tools called the Sidekick. It's a great little tool. I've carried multi-tools before, ones that come in their own cases that you put on your belt. In most cases I found that those get in the way for a lot of things that I do day to day, so I kind of leave that for just, you know, the outdoors, camping kind of outings. But I landed on this one. This was a great little tool. It's not too heavy, not too big. Folds open. It has the spring assist for the plier portion. Of course, the needle nose. Most of them are needle nose. That's great, and it has the extra little tools in with it. It's got a fully serrated blade. Let's see, there it is. Fully serrated blade if you want just serrations. It has just a little ruler sort of thing if you want to measure something, I guess. A small pick slash flathead screwdriver with a pretty robust file on the other side of it. Okay, then we have a bottle opener slash can opener. I've used it several times. It does work pretty well, along with a little sharpened edge inside here. I guess that's sort of like a wire stripper. Also has come in handy. If you want to put a lanyard on this little guy, it does give you that option for that as well. It's just a little loop, although it's pretty thin metal, and it could bend pretty darn easily, I think, so I don't really use that. On the other side then, we got the bigger, fatter flathead screwdriver option, along with the all-important Phillips head screwdriver. I've used these multiple times and they work very nicely. They come in handy, especially at work when you're up there and you don't want to go searching for the right tool. Just whip it out of your pocket. So then, of course, also a great feature, it's got the belt clip, which I thought was great. I didn't think I would care one way or the other about that, but now that I have it, I don't think I could go without it. So then you have your typical normal straight edge knife. Again, no serrations. I like that. But I do have the serrated edge option if I want it. And man, I tell you, Leatherman, they really make their knives sharp on these multi-tools. This thing is just unbelievably sharp. And also, it still has the locking mechanism there to lock that blade open so you don't close it on yourself. I've done that before, and boy does it suck. And another great thing that I thought was great on this is a little saw, and it's come in handy several times just in a pinch, and of course it locks as well, which is nice. A saw is a really nice thing to have, I think. Sometimes, especially when you don't think you need one, suddenly you might, so you got it. I've used pretty much everything on this thing multiple times, with the exception of a couple of small little things, but you know, it had enough of the features. I do wish it had a few other tools that it doesn't have straight off, but you know, it has enough that I can work with pretty easily and do most things that I need. So I thought it was a great little addition, and plus it was at a pretty decent price. You know, it's not up into that $120 range that some of these tend to get sometimes. No special finishes that you have to worry about, you know, it wearing off or corroding. Well, I guess they don't corrode, but just wearing off. I personally am not a fan of that. When something starts to look nasty, it's just like, just not a fan of it. Anyway, this is the best option that I've found, and it's I don't know how many ounces it is, but it's not bad, and it fits right in my back pocket here. It goes on the other side, you know, on the other side from my usual wallet pocket, which, you know, most guys carry wallets, so I guess that goes without saying that that's maybe an EDC item as well. Goes right on the other side, and most of the time I don't realize it's there, so it stays out of the way, but not out of the way that I forget and just pitch it somewhere and not realize it. So great little addition. So that is my bare bones EDC kit or set of tools that I carry with me every day, all day, no matter where I am. And even sometimes that stuff gets a little heavy or bulky at times, but very seldom does that happen. So let's see. Well, I guess I could tell you this. You've seen this before, the trusty old steel water bottle. I almost consider this an EDC item, because even if I go somewhere and those tools are not with me, usually this is, because I love to have the water with me no matter where I go. And this thing carries enough to get me through the day, or at least half the day. So I guess you could consider this an EDC item as well. So those are my EDC items, and maybe give you a few things to think about for your EDCs. Things to change, things to adapt, add, take away. Just wanted to give you guys that. So once again, thanks for watching the Layman's Survival Series, and this is Chris, and we'll catch you again later. Thanks for watching.